Hello, Robert Bolden, Life Transformed. And this is We Wednesday because we are in this together. I am so happy you joined me here today. As always, this is um, a totally cool way that I can just, I believe, share an aha moment that I received sometime during the week. And any of you that have been following these YouTube videos and however else you might be seeing this for any amount of time, you know that I've just been getting so much new revelation. I think it's just because I'm in the Word all the time, and it will speak to you. It changes you because you can read the same thing different times in your life. It's going to mean something different to you. So that's what it's so beautiful. So today I'm going to talk about when someone's in trouble, a brother or sister, and there's a particular verse that I zeroed in on, bear each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. So that sounds good, but I thought, boy, I want to get into this a little bit more. Let me get the whole context of it. So that was from Galatians 6:2. If you read the full context from the beginning, brothers and sisters, if someone is caught in a sin, you who live by the Spirit should restore that person gently. Okay, so beautiful. So that means if you see a friend caught in sin, or somehow you become aware of a friend caught in sin, so whatever that means for you, for me, and I think what I've seen in life, a lot of times when people try to restore, they don't do it gently. It's like it takes all the muscle they have to address the situation, and when they do, it just comes out like boom. So that's just such good wisdom. So someone is caught in a sin, a friend, a brother or sister, restore them gently, then carry with me, hey, come on, let's work on this together. I'm here for you. If anyone thinks they are something when they are not, they deceive themselves. There you go. That's ego. If anyone, that's me trying to help, you trying to help, or that person that's think that they're more than what they are. You have to be real. So that's where the truth comes in. Okay, you just have to be real about it. And the more that both parties can be real about it, themselves alone, without comparing themselves to someone else. So that is me again. If I bring this up, I have to be looking at myself too, not comparing myself to the other person. Same thing with the other person, the brother and sister that you or I are going to help restore them from some sin they were caught in. We just have to be able to look at ourselves and not compare situations. Each of us look internally and say, wow, yes, okay, here's where I am. My actions, these specific actions, this is where I messed up. For each one, okay, nevertheless, the one who receives instruction in the word should share all good things with their instructor. So there you go. If this is going well, so you've approached them gently and they received it, you weren't comparing, you weren't judging, then if they say, wow, thank you for sharing this with me, this really helps me because I was going to hide it, or I was going to not embrace it, or not acknowledge it, or deny it. That's so good. So you're on the right path. Okay. Next line, do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. See, now this is the big equalizer in any situation like that. Someone's caught in sin, God knows. And you can't deceive God. He can't be mocked. Someone else, you don't have to say that. God knows. God knows. So you don't have to say, well, that was sin. You can just say, God knows what you did. God knows. And they'll figure it out. You don't have to point it out. You have to rub it in their face. You don't have to make them feel, shame, even though you can't make them feel. That's on them. But still, be gentle with them. Okay? Because they are going to sow whatever they reaped. So that's why you're there, because you love them. You want to help them through that situation. You want to bring it to them, go back to gently again. Whoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction. Whoever sows to please the Spirit, from the Spirit will reap eternal life. Oh my goodness. That's pretty stark contrast. So you think about it, even reading these verses or using these verses as a guide, just such a great template. And I think it becomes pretty apparent if you do something to please the flesh, you know it. Or if you do something to please the Spirit, you kind of know that too. So really, it's about being that kind of a friend that's trustworthy. Pastor Ronnie over in Elkhorn, Nebraska, is doing a whole series on being trustworthy. And that's so important. You can be trustworthy. People can come to you, or if they get caught, they don't mind you approaching them because you're trustworthy. You're not going to judge. You're not going to do those things. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. See, that's the thing. You may go, someone's caught in sin, and you may go try to help them, and they may reject you. It may go badly, but you can't give up in doing good, to come gently to them and restore their spirit because of this sin. So beautiful. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people, especially to those who belong to the family of believers. So that's something that's been a big revelation in my life that I learned a while back. But the Bible and these words are written for people who believe and follow Jesus. Okay, so they're going to be more effective with people that follow Jesus. It doesn't mean you don't use this same process on people who don't follow Jesus, but just recognize. And the cool thing about this is if they are a true follower of Jesus, not just a Christian, quote unquote Christian, they're going to respond to this in a much different way. So my aha was to use Galatians 6, 1 through 10 as a way to approach, right? There's a big difference between Christians, believers, and followers of Christ. That's for another show, but that was a big revelation for me as well. So this has just been such good wisdom for me. And hopefully it's helped you a little bit. Use this as a tool if it resonates with you, as it did with me. It was a big aha for me, and that's why I wanted to share it. And that's what we do in our community, Life Transform, helping people go from isolation to community, because we feel like the biggest issue facing the world today is isolation. Even though we're more connected than any time in history, we're also more isolated. And that's even in our own heads. So the more that we can share with other people, which this is a great example of doing, the more we can be who we were created to be. We can be the light. We can be joy overflowing for other folks. And we could be trusted advisors. We could be trustworthy people for those closest to us in our lives. And when I can show that kind of trustworthiness, because I'm going to need it too on the other back into the Spirit. So there it is. Robert Bolden, WeWednesday. I hope you enjoyed this. Every Wednesday at 12:45 Eastern, I'll come on with some of this anything that hit me or hit others, you're always welcome if you want to come on the show, what it is that I'm sharing here today, or you can have your own aha moment that you want to share. So until next time, have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching this. And I love you, and we will see you soon.